which is what Estate AI did. That's why we went from 10K to 150K in 90 days. The richest 30-year-old 10 years from now is not flexing his Lambo on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
I didn't build a business, bro. I built a high-paying job for myself that I was trapped in. We've gone on to do 3.9 million since I bought that course. A $600 course. If that can turn into 3.9 million in 4.5 years, why in the world would somebody go pay $100,000 to get a degree to then go get a job that pays 55K per year? You have to figure out how can you build your own great thing. You can't just resell somebody else's great thing. If I could go back and do it differently, I would have.
Yo, guys, how's it going? Today, I got myself, that sounded gay. I got the legend himself, Matt Shields, on a Zoom call with me, talking about the future SMA. And no, it is not Go High Level. It is not SaaS, not hiring VAs to call these to your client. And yeah, all of that are not it. So today, I let Matt kind of introduce himself, what he did with Stay AI. You might have seen him on a different channel before. So yeah, Matt, take the stage, bro.
Yeah, dude, thank you for having me, Tony. I've been telling you this before, but you're one of my favorite SMMA YouTubers. So,
That's awesome, bro. Thank you. You're one of my favorite
yeah.
too, bro. I actually watched your video like last night.
Fire. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. We're still slept on, bro, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, so I'll give the quick story and then we can just dive in Tony style, freestyle, however we're just gonna go. But this is hopefully gonna be really valuable to some people who are actually serious about building an agency. This might change your perspective and allow you to have way more success way sooner than the current trajectory that you're on. So Estate AI, I was just telling you, Tony, it was actually an agency that I used to white label for. This little sign behind me says SMMA Fulfillment, and it's a white label company that I used to own before I got acquired. One of the clients that I was white labeling for was a real estate marketing agency owner. He didn't really know what he was doing, but he was getting more and more clients every single month. His clients were staying and he was just having success. So I hit him up one day and I'm like white labeling for him. You know, he's like a 4K a month client. So I'm like, dude, like, should we partner up? Like, are you down to partner? And he was just like, dude, I was going to ask you the same thing. So I was like, sweet. So we partnered up, but I didn't really do anything with Estate AI. I just had equity now. And it was actually called VZM at the time. But I was like, man, we should pivot this.
Quick question. Was the partner, my friend interrupting you by the way, was the partner
No,
Jared Curry or was
it wasn't Jared. Jared's coming in and like a little bit later in the story. It was a different guy, actually one of Jared Curry's coaching students. Jared coached this agency owner and I was white labeling for him. Guy named Jensen, an awesome guy. And I partner up with Jensen and we're you know, working on the agency, but I'm not really taking it seriously because I still have the white label. Then we go to Jared's event that he had in Mexico. And for anybody who doesn't know Jared, he's now the CEO of our agency. So I'll tell you how this all happened. But I go and I go to Jared's event. Jared and I are buddies at this point, and I'm like, man, you got to come partner with us on this agency. It's a rocket ship, dude. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be a 7-figure agency. You got to come partner with us. And he's like, bro, screw that. I don't want to work with realtors. I don't want to do another agency. He was just like, that sounds miserable. It's a terrible niche. I don't want to work with realtors. All this stuff. I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. A week later, Jared calls me up and he's like, all right, I'll partner with you on one condition. We put everything we have back into paid ads and we scale this thing as fast as possible. At that time, we were at 10K, 15K a month. 3 months later, we were doing 150K a month. Jared was the CEO, I was COO, and we've been scaling it ever since. The biggest thing that Estate AI has done differently is on the front end, we've done viral style marketing that has really allowed us to stand out in the industry. And on the back end, we've built a community and we've built a done with you coaching program that actually allows our clients to level up as people, not just get leads and try to convert them, but we've actually allowed them to go from real estate agents to real entrepreneurs. And so that's what Estate AI does differently. Our mission is to shift the paradigm of the entire real estate industry. And the way we do that is through coaching, communication, and helping our clients actually level up. So we've really tried to hammer in on the real problem that our industry has, which is not leads. It is the fact that they don't know how to run a real business. And so Estate AI has done that a little bit differently. And I'm guessing that's what we're talking about today, Tony. So wherever you want me to go from there, I can, but that's the quick kind of 2-minute rundown on Estate AI and how it came to be.
Yeah. So pretty much, guys, I know you didn't mention, but Matt and Jared are currently doing like around 300K a month.
Yeah.
So y'all better listen because I'll be listening. I'll be asking questions so I can learn from this too. And you guys are like 21, so that's insane. Like
I actually turned 22 yesterday, so it's less clickbait.
No way. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw your story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive now, bro. What the Now playing.
No.
It's still pretty impressive.
I'm fucking lame, bro. Everybody just unsubscribe from me right now.
Yeah, just like, bro, I'm 22 now. It's not that impressive anymore. Now I'm playing. Still really, really good. So yeah, I need.
Bro, hold on, real quick. I just have to say, I saw you on Joel's podcast one time, or like a Joel's video, and you're like, Joel, when did you make your first million? And he was like 27, and you were like, you're old as fuck.
In the elevator, me, Thomas, Tony, and then Tony's like, yo, Joel, when'd you make your first million by? I'm like, 26. He's like, yo, that's late.
I was like, damn, bro, that's gonna be me in like 3 years. I'm gonna be like 25. I'm gonna be bald by then. Nobody's gonna like my content.
No, bro,
that was hilarious though. That sticks with me to this day.
Yeah, no. So Joel made his first meal like 26, and I was like, bro, you're pretty old. And he's like, bro, I'm like 30, bro. I'm not that old, bro. So yeah. Also, Matt was also coached by Joel, by the way. So if you want to check out his channel, I'll link him down below. Joel, he also coached me. He coached you, Jared, and just like a bunch more people. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, let's dive into the actual like the back end of your agency, right? Because I know a lot of people now, they try to offer more in the agency by doing like SaaS and then like VA calling the leads and stuff like that. And what are your thoughts on those?
99% of people are getting SaaS completely wrong, and they're gonna get like they're gonna get screwed. And I know it's not what you guys want to hear. You can take your anger out on me if it makes you happier, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know, as somebody who doesn't sell anything to agency owners, by the way, that SaaS is a short-term play. Business is a marathon, not a sprint. So all these people who are chasing SaaS, they're sprinting, but they're going to get wiped out because they're sprinting they're at sprint pace, but they're running a marathon race. And so they're going to get screwed because the business that wins in the long term is the one that achieves sustainability of revenue. And we've talked to a lot of big companies and buyers and portfolio like Alex Hermosi Acquisition.com. The number one thing that companies like that look for is sustainability of revenue and potential to take over the market. You will not take over the market with SaaS, and you do not create sustainable revenue with SaaS because you're providing a commodity. Leads are a commodity, and lead gen is a commoditized space. So what you have to figure out is, what is the unique mechanism that I can provide that is not a commodity, but rather it's a competitive advantage that I can provide, and it's very hard for others to copy me, that will allow me to stand out in the market and create sustainability of revenue. That is the thought process to building an agency the right way, in my opinion, at least. How can we create sustainability of revenue with a unique mechanism that most others can't provide? Because you can't build an incredible business off of a commodity, and leads are a commodity. So just providing SaaS is going to get you wiped out. Very few SaaS companies, and when I say SaaS, I mean
I was gonna say
the bullshit SaaS, high level. That's not SaaS, by the way. Like, SaaS is actually building a software, creating an actual solution to a problem, not reselling someone their software. It's affiliate marketing. It's not like this. SaaS is really just affiliate marketing. It's not true SaaS. It's not a real software.
GoHighLevel is an amazing platform, by the way.
It's amazing.
But
I've been using HighLevel for 4 years.
Yeah,
just see, like I was like there were like 200 people in the group when I joined HighLevel. Like,
that's crazy.
Like I was doing it for the fitness niche. I love HighLevel. Sean Clark is an awesome founder and CEO. It's a great company. But the question is, how do you become a great founder and build a great company? And it's probably not going to be by just copying what somebody else has built and then reselling it. You're going to have to create something else that's unique to you. And I want to give this caveat, because it's going to suck. People aren't going to want to hear it, but I guess that's what I'm here to do today. Most people are not going to be able to build something that other people love. So a lot of people might actually be better off just reselling SaaS and trying to figure out how they can make it better and like make some micro improvements. But for the people who want something great and they feel like they can actually build something really special, you have to figure out, how can you build your own great thing? You can't just resell somebody else's great thing. It's going to limit and put a ceiling on your success. So
that's really good. That was actually really, really good. Really fucking good. Guys, if you guys are not listening, bro, y'all like low-key. So pretty much I think
this is the perfect collab, bro. I just want to say this is the perfect collab.
It's the perfect collab, bro. We should do one in person. I'm also about to see Matt in person next month.
Dude, let's do it. If this gets a certain amount of likes, I'll fly you out to Wilmington, which is like the beach of North Carolina. Nobody knows where it is. I'll fly you out to Wilmington. We'll do an in-person like weekend or like podcast or something. It'll be cool. But how you name the amount of likes that it needs to get when they happen?
I don't remember how many likes, bro. Guys, I don't check my YouTube analytics, bro. I just post. So
That's how you know you're a real one, bro. That's how you know you're a real one. You don't even check. You just go.
yeah, if I get 200 likes, just say 200 likes. That's probably a good
Cool.
metric. Okay,
Cool.
200 likes, and then me and Matt will do a podcast together in person. So
Fine.
okay, back to the SaaS thing though. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people here's how I see it. They want to sell SaaS because it's easier to sell on the front end. But then really, if you because the thing about SaaS is that most people are selling it the same way they sell an agency service, right? Cold calling, cold DMing, running ads. And I'm like, bro, if you're doing that much work, might as well sell something that's worth like 2K a month, you know?
Right.
That's one thing. The second thing is people mistake like the mechanism for the value they provide. Like I feel like the business owner don't really care if it's a software or it's an agency.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's really, really important. In fact, business owners would rather have an agency than a software. The reason
100%.
is SaaS, and again, that I just mean high level and UpHex
High
when we
level
talk
SaaS.
about that.
Yeah.
That is, high level SaaS is still, it still requires the business owner, correct me if I'm wrong, to manage the ads themselves. Like you build the ads with the software, but now who's going to manage the ads? Who's going to optimize them? What are you going to do when they get slow? As somebody who used to run a white label company and has worked with literally over 1,000 different SMMA clients across the last 4.5 years, you have to manage ads, and ad management is super important. So if you're now putting that in the business owner's hands, not only are you providing a commodity, but you're also adding complexity because they have to manage the commodity themselves. Or they have to get somebody on their team. So you're solving their problem for like a month, and now it's like the ads are slow. What do I do? Well, the business owner needs to learn how to run Facebook ads and manage Facebook ads. And that's the last thing a chiropractor wants to do, bro, is hop into ads manager and duplicate and republish and test new creatives. They want to crack backs and make stacks. That's it. So
yo motherfucker really think a fucking lawyer will sit there and tweak their fucking ads? No. They make way too much money to give
Exactly. So the thought process here is eat your customers' complexity. Sam Ovens made an amazing video on this idea. Go watch it after this video. Don't hurt Tony's engagement and duration, please. But he has an amazing video called Eat Your Customers' Complexity. And essentially it says the company that will win in the long run, again, this concept of sustainability is super important. The company that will win in the long run is the one who eats their customers' complexity. There's a really good book. I have it somewhere. It's on that shelf. You can't see it, but it's The Effortless Experience. And it talks about all of these studies from over 100,000 customers of different B2C and B2B companies. The ones who had the highest feedback ratings were the ones that required the least amount of effort from the customer's experience. So if you can get your customer the end result with the least amount of effort on their end as possible, you can charge as much as you want and you can keep them for as long as you possibly want to because you're eating their complexity. So SaaS is not in alignment with that idea because now you're creating complexity for the business owner, which is, well, you solved my first problem, which is I don't know how to build ads, but you've created a new problem, which is how do I manage ads and how do I convert the leads that you're getting me and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're not solving their real problem. You're actually creating more.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's talk about the actual future SMMA. I also believe this will be the future of most like online, like service provider business, like agency
100%.
and all that stuff. It's gonna be coaching because right now, and that's why I feel like that's why Alex Hormozi is betting on acquisitions.com because he knows like the online education space is gonna be booming in the next like 2-3 years. So
dude, he probably thinks it's going to replace college. I personally, I believe like people are catching on to the fact that you can get more value from a $10,000 course than you can a $100,000 tuition. And if the education space doesn't do something serious to rectify that and compete, they will get wiped out. Bro, I dropped out in 9th grade. I never went to college a day in my life. I bought a $600 course. It was $600 4 years ago. A guy named Billy Wilson. It was $597 actually. It's $597, and we've gone on to do 3.9 million since I bought that course. A $600 course, if that can turn into 3.9 million in 4.5 years, why in the world would somebody go pay $100,000 to get a degree to then go get a job that pays $55K per year? The average college graduate makes like $60K per year coming out of college, if that. And the average 22-year-old, Tony, their net worth is negative 39,000. Negative 39,000 because they're in debt. So if you took that 100K, you invested it into courses, mentors, and leveling up your skills in a specified industry, you're going going to make way more than if you just learn, I don't know, microeconomics or, I don't know, liberal arts theory, whatever is in college. I don't know. So quick rant, but I wanted to put that out there.
My friend was in history of rock. I was like, bro, what the I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. We're not supposed to be doing this shit. So yeah.
I say that because the education space is getting replaced. Like it's getting replaced, and it's been happening for years now, but it's getting bigger and bigger. And Alex Ramosi, you're spot on, dude. He works with education companies. Like that's who they work with. And it's because that's a growing industry. If you just look it up, I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure it's growing at an incredible rate
really fast, I bet.
Right.
Yeah. And
so how can you tap into that as an agency owner, I think is kind of the question. How can you tap into that?
So I haven't done it myself. So today I'm also here to learn how you did it. And I know you are the back end guy. So you probably set up all the coaching, hire all the client success and all that stuff. So I kind of want to see how you did with STAI and how would you recommend people to start? Because I know to go to that level, it's probably no one can do it like now. It has to be like kind of gradual. Like what would you start first? Like where you start? And all of that stuff.
So I'll give like the quick overview that people can just kind of steal and then copy to their own niche, or even if you're in the same niche, you can take it. The first thing is your client success managers, your CSMs. Instead of it being a CSM, like a normal account manager, we hired a real estate agent who worked as a realtor part-time to then come be our CSM. Guy's a beast. He's a stud. He's our head coach now. So he speaks the real estate language. He knows the real estate language. There was a time, dude, where we had 3 licensed realtors as our 3 CSMs. And these were like people who were making $250, $500K a year from real estate, but now they wanted to give back. Now that we realized wasn't sustainable. We've done a ton of learning on this, and we're still learning right now, to be honest. I don't want to act like we've perfected the model. We've pioneered the model, and we're working on perfecting it, to just be really honest. But find somebody who has industry relevant experience, or at minimum understands business and sales extremely well, because the main thing you're going to teach is mindset, business fundamentals, and how do you convert leads. Like in any niche, that's the main thing you teach. So you can go on Indeed, you can go on ZipRecruiter, you can look up business consultants, and that can be your CSM. The other thing we do from just a group perspective, there's 3 main calls I would recommend starting off with. A mindset call. So we have a mindset coach. We pay her $250 an hour. You can find them for $200, $150, doesn't matter. We have a mindset call. Then we have a sales call. How do you convert leads? So we have an ex-marketer who used to run an agency and is now a realtor. He does a call every single Tuesday that's like, how do you convert leads? How do you convert leads? He speaks our language because he used to be a marketer, but now he's a realtor. So he also speaks their language, and he just goes over follow-up and sales. Then the third call is just a Q&A, bring everybody on, and it's a Q&A / special guest masterclass. So we had this guy, Mark J. Kohler. He wrote the Tax and Legal Playbook, I think, which is like a #1 best-selling book in the CPA field. Everybody knows this guy. I didn't know who he was, but everybody was like stoked to have this guy.
I don't know who he was. So he needs to hop on YouTube, bro. I'm playing.
But he so we brought him on. He did like an hour-long masterclass. Literally one of the clients on the call unmutes themselves and they're like, hey, I just want to say this was worth the entire investment of the program, this one call alone, because I didn't know any of this stuff, and it's going to save me so much in taxes. I'm going to be able to pay for this program multiple times over. So we're leveraging other people's expertise. We've created a community, and then we're just bringing the expert to the community. I don't do any of the calls myself. I don't know anything about real estate, bro. I don't know how to write a contract. I don't know how to sell a house. I don't know any of that shit. But I just find the people and I leverage other people's expertise, OPE, and I bring that into the community. So find the people who have the knowledge that you don't have and then bring them into the community. Your goal is to build a community in the first place.
Okay. That's really, really, really good. That's actually really
I know I'm going fast and saying a lot. So if I need to like slow down or shut up on something, let me know. But I don't know, there's a lot to cover. So
if you want to learn more about like what Matt do and stuff, you just check out his YouTube channel. I personally watch it. It's actually really, really good. Compared to most SMMA YouTubers say the same shit, bro. Like but I feel like his content is actually different because he actually scaled an agency to a pretty significant number. So check it out. Thanks, if you guys want to learn more on the whole business side. But let's hop back in. So
this is our 6th agency, by the way, just to give that as a number. We've built 6 agencies at this point. So 2 in the gym space to multi 6 figures, 1 in the Cairo space to 6 figures, white label company to multi 6 figures, and then a done for you agency offer that we changed. We don't do anymore, but but also that one to 40K in the first 3 days. So this is number 6, which is why I've learned so much. Is like, well, I failed 5 times, to be honest, like maybe 4 times, and one of them was like kind of a success, but it took me 4.5 years to learn this stuff. So that's why I wanted to hop on with Tony, share this stuff and give it back. It took me 5 years and so much money in coaches and courses and failures to learn this stuff.
Yeah, that's what most people don't see too. They kind of see like fast success and all that good stuff, but really, like, for everyone's success, bro, like there's so much more that you just don't know about.
100%.
So
100%.
like you and even Jared, his
we're guilty of this. Yeah, we're guilty of this. We say 0 to 300K a month in a year, but it's like, bro, this is 4.5 years in the game.
Yeah.
The State AI has been around for, at this point, it's 1.5 years. We hit our first 300K month, or it's like 292. So 300 is kind of clickbait. We're off by 8. That's what I said. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure. But yeah, man, that happened in a year. But the State AI had already been built by somebody else a little bit, so it had the foundations. And I'd been doing this for 4 years already. So it was just like, it's a little clickbaity. So understand, sustainability in business also requires endurance on the entrepreneur's part, because this isn't going to happen. The number one reason people fail in SMMA, and I know this is a side note, but it's because they come in with the wrong expectations.
Yeah,
they see a fucking rollie and some trip from some guru, and they're like, yo, I'm going to learn how to make 10K a month running Facebook ads. It's going to be easy. That is not how this business works.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody lied to you, and that's not how this works. So problems arise when expectations differ and people are expecting something separate from reality. And when they realize it's not what they were expecting, they quit. And that's why so many people hop into this space. They'll be gone the next month, and then the next wave will come in and the same thing will happen, because people's expectations are flawed. They're not approaching the game the right way.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Another question on the whole business model. I know, bro. This is like, this video is gonna be so messy, but like,
I know. I
watch
go all
watch
over
the
place,
whole
bro.
thing.
I got ADHD.
No, it's fine, bro. I never play my shit too. So if you're still watching this point, bro, keep on watching, because it's gonna be more sauce. So I know a lot of people on Joel's podcast video was asking for your profit margin. I was like, bro, if you're a pocket watcher, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
No, it's a fair question though. It's a fair question, because that's important. 300K a month. We do like 30% margins.
That's pretty good. That's actually really good. Personally, I never pocket watch, so I never really asked people what's the margin is. If I know you personally, I will. But yeah,
that's with the agency being basically automated though. Like I work 5 hours a week. Jared works 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
So like 30% margins and it has enterprise value because it runs without us. So if we were to sell it, we could sell it for millions. So that's just background. 30% margins are decent. They're not
after
like
paying yourself, or
that's after paying ourselves too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 30%. So I guess a lot of people, I don't know, because I'm in more contact with more beginners than you do, probably, because I'm also a beginner. I mean, I'm a beginner, bro. I'm still pretty fucking new. So
you're killing it.
Thank you. I'm trying to. So yeah. So what I've seen so far is people always chase that like big margin, like trying to do all themselves and trying to keep their margin as high as possible. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I've recently been hanging out with like Eddie Malouf, Joel, all of those people, but I want to hear your thoughts before
Bro, you got the circle, bro. Let me hang out with you guys, dude.
Bro, come to Denver, bro. Come to Denver.
Dude, I definitely want to go back. I definitely want to go back for sure. But I'm glad you asked this, because I have a very personal story with this, and it's one of the biggest things that I got wrong in the beginning. My second agency was a fitness agency, and we went from I went from 0 to 20K a month profit in like 45 days. And I was on top of the world, bro. I was like, I'm making 20 racks. I'm 18 years old. Like I just started. This is sick.
That was me. That was me too, bro.
Right? And then COVID happened and I got wiped out. But what I learned from that, when I was at 20K a month, my now business partner, Jared, I've known Jared for 4.5 years. We bought the same $600 course 4.5 years ago. So I've known him for a minute. Jared was also running a gym agency, and he was doing 15K per month. I was doing 23 revenue and I was doing 20K profit. Jared was doing 15 revenue, 3K profit. So I was like, bro, Jared doesn't know what he's doing, bro. He's making 3K profit. That guy's a goof. He needs to be learning from me, because I'm making 20K a month profit. And then what happened is I got wiped out. Jared was reinvesting everything into coaching and learning. So that's why his margins were so low. He took $10,000 and he bought Joel Kaplan's course, which I thought was insane at the time. It's like, dude, you're going to spend 10 racks? That's crazy. crazy. Why would you ever do that?
I would,
He
it's not,
buys.
it's not that much for the value you get, bro. Like genuinely.
Oh, it's worth it.
Yeah,
I had a
so
flawed mindset because I was in a conservative mindset. I wasn't in an abundance mindset of like,
yeah.
what can this help me make in the future? Because the way I'd been raised, dude, it was the way I was programmed. It's like, you need to hold on to money. One of the biggest differences between how wealthy people view money and how poor people view money is poor people view money as something that they must hold on to and conserve. Wealthy people view money as something they should invest and spend in order to create more money. I didn't have that mindset yet. So what happened is when COVID came along, Jared's business got wiped out and so did mine. Both our agencies were just done overnight. But Jared took the money he had saved and he bought a course, Joel Kaplan's $10,000. I decided that I was going to go try to start a tech company or build a clothing brand. And I got all these shiny object models.
Yeah.
Jared was investing in everything. He went and he took the 10K, bought Joel's program. Then he took like another 10K and he started running paid ads. 6 months later, Jared was doing 100K a month in a brand new agency in the e-commerce niche.
It's the hardest niche too.
It was a hard niche.
Yeah.
And he invested everything back into the company, into the team, into ads, into coaching. He just invested everything. He didn't care about margins because he's trying to run the marathon. Like we talked about, he's not sprinting. One just quick like mindset shift you guys can make here is every investment you make, instead of asking, what will this lead me to making a year from now or a month from now? What will this lead me to making 10 years from now? And if you can just change that, if you can make that shift of like, okay, a decade out, what does this allow me to do? You can start making way healthier decisions. So I was running at 90% margins. I did all the ads, did all the client management. I did all the sales. I was working 70 hours a week, busting my ass. That business was limited by me. I didn't build a business, bro. I built a high paying job for myself that I was trapped in.
The trap is that you feel like you're balling.
I feel like
was
you
in
made
that
it,
trap.
bro.
You're like, bro, in 6-figure year, but then you're working like all day, every single fucking hours of the day. So
if I could go back and do it differently, I would have invested everything back into ad spend, which is what Estate AI did. That's why we went from 10K to 150K in 90 days. We put everything back into ad spend and then recruiters to find more team members. So the two most valuable things you can invest in my opinion, I guess 3 things: knowledge, education, or sorry, those are the same thing. Knowledge, marketing, and then team. Like get the best people, become the best person yourself, and then promote people, promotion, and then just knowledge. So with Estate AI, invested everything back into recruiters, invested everything back into ad spend, and we just never stopped selling, never stopped recruiting. That was like the 7-figure philosophy, bro. Nobody talks about this. I was saying this
never stop selling, never stop recruiting.
That's it, bro. I saw that on a Instagram post that had like 7 likes. It was just some random agency account and it was like, how to get to 8 figures, never stop selling, never stop recruiting. I had like 12 likes and I was just like, bro, that's it. That's the answer. Never stop selling, never stop recruiting. Bro. So I invested everything back into that. I wish I did that sooner. I'd be at 500, 600K a month, not 300K a month. So learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Build a real business.
300K a month? No, I'm playing.
Well, I don't mean it like that, but build a real business, man. Build a real business. If you want to have enterprise value, this is the last thing I'll say on it. If you want to actually build something that you can sell, you need a team. You can't run the business yourself. You'll never be able to exit that business. And if you can never exit, that means you're always going to be trapped by the business. So build a real business, build a real company, do it the right way, find team members, sacrifice the short-term margins for the long-term margins. It's worth it. And just don't play the short-term game. Like don't sprint, run the marathon. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give somebody.
Damn, that's really, really fucking good, bro. That's been my takeaway too, ever since I've been in Denver. So I got pretty lucky, and for some reason Joel with me. So
like you said, bro, he was like
for some reason Joel's like, yo, pull up to Denver and chill with me for like a month. That's like bet. And so I'm here.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then Joel, he's so nice. And he introduced me to all these people. So I can talk like Eddie. We went to the Powerhouse Brain event.
Yeah.
There's so many like 7, 8-figure entrepreneur there. The biggest takeaways is, bro, they think really long. Like I know it sounds so cliche. Like it sounds so like common sense, but then I feel like most people don't practice common sense though. So
we don't practice discipline either. Like we live in a world of instant gratification and instant pleasures. And so if you want to start retraining yourself to think like a 7-8 figure human being, it starts in the micro actions.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? It starts in on a daily basis. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you check Instagram? Do you check TikTok? Do you scroll? Do you go jerk off? Like what is the first thing you do? Do you go eat shitty food? Like you have to start disciplining yourself on a micro level if you want to discipline yourself on a macro level. Real quick to add one more thing onto this, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, because this is a really powerful thought behind building a community, because building a community takes time. It's not something you do in a month, like you said. Jeff Bezos said something in an interview that's always stuck with me. He says, when somebody congratulates him on a good quarter at Amazon, he says, you should be congratulating me 3 years ago, because the person 3 years ago was the dude who put in the work to get this quarter 3 years later. And he says at Amazon, we like to think in things of 5 to 7 year time frames. 5 to 7 year time frames. We're very stubborn. We plant seeds. We watch them grow. That's it. 5 to 7 year time frames. He's not playing 5 to 7 months from now. He's not playing a year or two from now. He's thinking of half a decade to 7 years out. What can he do now to build the best company, the best product? And that's why he became the richest man in the world for a little bit before Elon screwed him. But you get the point. 5 to 7 year time frames.
Elon got screwed by the other guy who's
really?
Dior and LV and stuff. What's his? I don't know.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so bro, that is insane advice. That's hard though. Like whatever Jeff Bezos say about how like if he got a good quarter, like it's actually hit him like 3 years
It's
ago.
simple though. It's simple. It's just hard. Think longer. Okay, I know I should. Like all I really have to say is, hey, think longer. But that doesn't work because it's hard. It's simple, but it's hard, and that's how most things are. It is
so hard because then you get tempted by all those people. Like even myself, bro. Like I try to tell myself to think longer. For me right now, it's just learning, bro. Like I'm trying to learn as much as possible when it comes to like all the skill set and stuff. Yeah. And in order to think longer, it's easy said and done. So I know for most people, like you guys actually have to like consciously tell yourself, like, yo, I need to, think longer, plan like long term, because everyone play the short game. That's why, like, personal story too. Like before, when bro, I went to like an ego trip when I make my first like 6-10K month. Bro, I was it was fun while it lasted though. But like the downfall was cool. So it was like before I used to think like, oh, if I'm making more money than someone right now, I'm better than them. But now I don't think that anymore because I'm like, bro, we're playing a longer game. I don't know what the fuck he got cooking. Maybe 10 years from now, he'd be like the CEO of a hedge fund. It'd be worth like $5 billion. So who knows? So I see that just like shift in my head too when it comes to like, thinking longer term. So yeah,
the richest 30-year-old 10 years from now is not flexing his Lambo on Instagram right now. Like the richest one, he's in the trenches building a software that is going to change the world, and you're not going to hear about him until he's a multi-billionaire, and it's too late because he didn't tell you about it. He didn't want to put himself out there. He's playing the long-term game. So yeah, man, it's hard, and you learn through experience, but it's super important. So I won't keep beating the dead horse. Think longer term. How can you provide the most value in a maybe not even 5 years? That might just be too much for people. There's a good book called The Vivid Vision, and it talks about setting a 3-year vision for yourself because 1 year is too short, 5 years is a little bit too long. So check out The Vivid Vision. It's a 3-year kind of philosophy, and that seems to be a little bit more reasonable and kind of graspable, if that's a word, for people to actually hold on to.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, bro, let's do a quick recap on everything we mentioned.
Sure.
So first thing is fuck SaaS. Like no, if you have an actual SaaS, go good for you, but like go high level white label SaaS.
SaaS with a community. GHL SaaS with a community. If you're doing like a done with you, I wanted to add this caveat in if that's cool. If you're gonna sell GHL, you have to have like a weekly call where you're teaching them how to manage ads, and they can come on, they can share their screen, and you have an expert media buyer that's like, oh, make this change, make that change, do that. But it's probably going to be easier to just eat the complexity for the person and do done for you. But if you're going to do SaaS with the community, that's better than just doing SaaS by itself.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, number one, don't just do SaaS plus coaching, community, whatever. Number two, actually play the hard game of making the actual business, not just an agency. Oh, we get you leads. Actually help people provide actual value and not just like leads. And number three, what's number three?
Yeah, so number 2, don't resell somebody else's great thing, build your own great thing. Number 3 is find experts in the industry and leverage their expertise. OPE, other people's expertise. You build the community and then you bring those people in because you have the asset that they want, which is a group of people to speak to, and then you have the asset that the community wants, which is somebody else's expertise. So that's rule number 3, I guess.
And number 4, think longer term. That like if you just think the first 3 points will be done if you have number 4 done, because you know that's how I see it. So
yeah, it's a marathon, man. Was there a number 5 or was it just were those the main 4? I think
number 5, sub to Matt. Bro, actually though, y'all need to actually sub to Matt, bro. Like I've been watching his shit. You know, I'm not even kidding. Like fucking.
Bro, I'm dropping the Hermosi video today. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. It's a clickbaity thumbnail. It's gonna be it's how Alex Hermosi transformed my SMMA in one Zoom call. And the screenshot, the thumbnail is like Alex and me like on a Zoom. I think it's gonna do well. I hope it's gonna do well.
It's gonna do well. It's gonna do well.
The last thing I guess I'll finish with, just to add on to number 4. You've probably heard it before, but business is a marathon, not a sprint. And we've talked about that on this call. The thought process and kind of the thought experiment that I like to use that really changed the way I view this game is actually running a marathon. Like every single person watching this video right now can complete a 26.2 mile distance. Every single person watching this video can go 26.2 miles, which means every single person here is capable of completing a marathon. But the reason most people, I'm not saying you need to do it in 3 hours, 4 hours, just go the distance. The reason most people never actually try to run a marathon officially is because they're trying to do it too fast and they don't think they can do it in the time frame that is socially acceptable to run a marathon. Because if you took 10 hours to run a marathon, it wouldn't be as cool, right? But if it took you 10 hours and you still got the badge, you still did a marathon. People are too focused on speed rather than distance. If you can just focus on the idea of, hey, if I get up today and I start walking, I'll go 26.2 miles, whether it takes me an hour, a day, or a year. I will go the 26.2 miles. I will complete the distance. The only way I don't is if I give up and turn around. So if you can think of business in that way, if you have just started a marathon for yourself and you are going the 26.2 miles, and the only way you won't is if you quit and give up on the race, then you will eventually complete the marathon. But focus on distance rather than speed. And in the long run, you will win. Hopefully you'll come back to this video like 4 years from now and you'll be like, yo, I'm a millionaire. And Tony will be like, cool. And I'll have like 1 million subs by then. And it'll be like, it'll be a good moment. So keep that in mind.
Like we're all gonna have fun. But yes, bro. Oh my, like this has been insane. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Podcast, video, webinar, VSL, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It has been fucking amazing. So thank you again. Thank you so much for Matt hopping on with me. It's so funny. I just texted you, yo, and then we did it. So I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, dude, you're about to hit me up and be like, we should collab, and I beat you to it. I was like, yo,
yeah.
Yo, you're funny as fuck, bro. We need a collab. So
this was awesome, bro. So sub to Matt. I'll link his channel down below. Watch this recent video, whatever he's posting. All his videos is really good. It generally helped me a lot when it comes to mindset. I feel like you got that nailed down. Like you got your mindset dialed in. So yeah, that's pretty much. Also, anything you want to share? Any plug you want to IG, YouTube, whatever?
Nah, I mean, dude, you plugged the YouTube for me, so thank you. Sub to Tony. I'm throwing it right back. Sub to Tony already, bro. But 200 likes and Tony and I will do an in-person weekend podcast thing. Maybe I'll come up to Denver and we'll like get Joel involved and we'll do like the 3 of us or something. 300 likes and we'll get Joel involved.
Yeah, 300 likes and we get Joel involved.
Joel hasn't agreed to it at all, but we'll peer pressure.
Yeah, we'll non-consensual. Joel's doing it. so but yeah, bro.
Thanks
hopefully
for
you guys
having me, man.
enjoyed the video. I know it's a pretty long video, but hopefully we'll provide you with insane value. Again, sub to Matt, sub to me, and boom. See you in the next video.
Peace.